We've covered imaginary friends before, and I'd like to cover it again in this video, sharing the same clip of the priest and only thinking of doing so after I listened to what this mother experienced. And please let me know what you think of this as well.
So earlier this year we moved into a deceased estate, and since then my 3-year-old daughter has developed an imaginary friend. And the way that she talks about this imaginary friend is not the way you would imagine a 3-year-old girl to be talking about someone that has been made up in her mind. He's not like a wizard, he's not riding a unicorn. His name is Joe, and he sounds like the most standard middle-aged man I've ever heard of. The way she talks about him is that he lives here as well, he likes working on his car, he has 2 children, which I know about the family that we bought this from, that they did have 2 children. And she said he wears a red shirt and black gardening gloves. And our house is on a massive bush block. So if you lived here, you would need to be a gardener, or you would need to be doing gardening a lot of your time. And just the things that she says about him has me a little bit freaked out. She says that he lives here, but he's also spent a lot of time in hospital. She also mainly interacts with him downstairs, which is where I am now, which is kind of like the very messy, very, very messy. But it's kind of like the original creepy section of the house. So I don't know what to do with this information. And she's 3. Like, this is the first time she's ever had an imaginary friend, and you'd think it would be like a fairy unicorn or something, but it's not. It's the most standard middle-aged man, and he sounds like a real dude. And I now think that I have to go back through births, deaths, and marriages and figure out what the name of the guy was that lived here, because if his name is Joe, I'll tell you right fucking now, we're moving out. I will not be living here anymore. In saying that though, if he is willing to give me free childcare, then he can stay.
It's Joe's birthday. It's downstairs.
It's Joe's birthday downstairs?
Yeah. That's Joe's birthday. You like flowers. Did you like the flower?
He likes
little
flowers.
And big flowers.
Joe likes flowers.
And he loves it. He loves that with the flowers, and he said,
oh, does he make silly jokes?
Yeah.
So do you know what Joe's last name is?
Joe.
His last name is Joe?
Yeah.
Is that? Does he have a different name?
Yeah. He has a different name called E-N-R-N-P, and he pairs with that letter and that picture.
I'm feeling a little bit creeped out, like mainly because it moved, but also because of the timing of it. So last night I was sitting here on this couch, which is right next to the window. There's a tissue box there for a reason, I will tell you later. So we were sitting here, and I've told my kids that they can't jump on this couch because it's next to the window. The glass is particularly thin, I think, because they're older windows, and also there's like quite a big drop, if you can see. So there's a rule that they can't jump on this couch. So I was sitting here last night, my husband was sitting across from me, and my son was just standing to the side. And he had started jumping on it and then got off, and I started talking to him about the importance of not jumping on this couch because it's so dangerous. And I had a tissue box sitting up here. You can see that there's like a gap between there and the window. Anyhow, so we were sitting here, nobody's moving. I was saying to him, we don't jump on the couch, and I was listing out the reasons, like the glass is thin, there's a big drop, blah, blah, blah. At the end, as soon as I said, so that's why we don't jump on this couch, the tissue box moved by itself and flew from here and smacked into the window and then dropped down. And we all just went really quiet. And my husband, who's like more skeptical about these things, he was like, what the f was that? And we just kind of like looked at the tissue box, and then Eli, my son, started laughing. And I was like, what the hell was that? So it's the first time I've noticed anything move here on its own. And what like worries me a bit is like the timing of it. It was literally me saying, that's why we don't play near the window. And then it goes poof, straight into the window. So I don't really know what to make of that. If it's like there's a ghost here that's trying to like reiterate my point, or if it's some kind of like threat.
And when it comes to imaginary friends, fortunately during one of Father Carlos Martins' previous interviews, he addressed this very subject. Listen to this.
With regard to imaginary friends, I don't like them because I don't. We should not encourage children to form a relationship, and I'm all about relationships, right? Like, so my job as an exorcist, any exorcist job is, I mean, we're relationship healers, right? Where our job is to end one relationship, a bad one, and to establish a good one. If you're encouraging your children to establish a relationship with something that is not there, that's a dangerous thing. Now, pretending is very healthy for children. You know, pretending that they are a fireman, pretending that they are a princess, pretending, you know, etc. That's fine. Like that's no problem. But an imaginary person or thing gives way too much wiggle room for the devil to become that imaginary thing. Because when you're talking with something that isn't there, you're forming a relationship with that very thing, which can be usurped by the enemy. So that's one thought on it. I had some good close friends, personal friends, come up to me one time, and they said to me, you know, our son is talking about seeing shadows in his room, shadow people at night. So the child was somewhere between 2.5, 3 years old, maybe as old as 3.5. And he starts saying that they're in his room, and he gets very, very scared. And they're people, and they're in the shape of people, and there's multiple of them. And so what I said to them, now, so these are people I know extremely well. One of them, I most of my life, I've known this person. And so what I said is, look, when I encounter something like this, when people say something like this to me, what I say is have everybody in the house go to confession. And when I said that, it was the spouse, the mother of the child, said, yeah, gosh, you know, it's been a long time since we've gone to confession. Well, they did so. So it was only 3 of them in the house. There was mom, dad, and the baby. So mom, dad went to confession, and the shadows disappeared, never came back. The only other instance that I've had of that was something very similar. And mom and dad were watching a zombie show at night on TV. I don't know what show it was. I mean, I haven't watched a TV show in over 20 years. But what they described as some zombie show that was on television. And there was something in them that told them we shouldn't be watching this, but they did anyway. They found it entertaining and so forth. Well, when their baby described seeing people in his room, very similar to the first instance, they just made a decision, you know, we got to stop watching this. Guess what? The shadow people stopped coming as well. So was there anything objectively evil, immoral, going on, I mean, with them watching this show that was on, I don't know if it was on primetime TV. I don't know. I couldn't tell you a single thing about the show. Not necessarily, but there doesn't have to be. That in their own makeup, mom, dad, the house, I don't know what that was provoking. But they themselves came up with the decision by themselves immediately. We shouldn't be watching this. And so that, to me, that's the Holy Spirit already speaking in the situation. And I don't know why this would happen merely from watching a show. I don't know. So much of my job, I don't know. I mean, we have something that happens. We respond to it. Hey, there's a positive outcome. We work to see, like, can I get to the bottom as to why there was a positive outcome here? Sometimes we're able to get to it. Sometimes we don't. We're not able to figure out what was the key out of this situation. Like, in other words, a great many people, they watch a zombie show and they have nothing going on. Nothing wrong happens in their life. Why did it happen for these people? I couldn't tell you. But for them, they took that outcome. And for them, our child is able to fall asleep, no problem now, gets through the night without screaming, saying that there's people coming to him and touching him and poking him while he's in his crib. That ended like this. So there you have it.
Well, I guess that is all for the video this time. Again, thanks so much for your time spent here with us, and hopefully all of you have learned a lot from this one.